What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Vona Conquistador de los Muertos. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, we've got Swamp, Barrens, Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. I like this. Haven Mind Sensor, a Camball. Nice little kind of Hate Bears package we got in the hand. Kind of digging that. Let's get the graveyard popped up. There we go. Alright. Then I'll cover our commanders in just a second. Let's see if our opponent looks like they're going to stay at 6, so that should be pretty good. Let's go and lead off with the Barrens, gain that 1 life, get ahead of our opponent. Nothing can stop us now. We're going to win the game. And then we'll kick it over our opponent, and I'll cover the commanders. There we go. All right, hit F6, and then we'll go from there. If you see this little kind of yield sign, that means I am yielding. So if you're wondering what that is, that's what's going on. We're playing Vona, Butcher of Magan, Vigilance and Lifelink, tap, pay 7 life, destroy target non-land permanent, activate this ability only during your turn. And our opponent did suspend a Search for Tomorrow. Let's go and get the Bloodstained Mire down. That sounds good. Everything else is 3 or 2, so we'll get that down and go ahead and pass the turn. Playing against Dragonlord Dromoka. Can't be countered, flying, lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Alright, and it does not have hexproof, so if we need to get into spots where we can start activating Vona on our opponent's commander, we can definitely go for that. But yes, welcome to the Vona deck. Man, I've had a lot of fun with this deck. And it's almost like we keep playing in, there's just different lines of play that we can go for that make for some really fun games, you know, especially when you have throw Mirror Universe and Mirror Universe in the mix and also Axis of Mortality. Yeah, let's go and get the Godless Shroud down. Not going to pay 2 on this one, nope. And let's go and get the Concealed Courtyard down. That way it didn't come into play tapped. What do we need to go for? Yeah, let's go and go for Camball. Or actually, we could go for Avian Mind Sensor in response to that. That'll catch the Grasslands activation. Yeah, actually, let's go and flash it in while that's tapped out. I think I'm okay with this. Because if we do that next turn, what's going to happen is that Suspend counter comes off, and they can activate Grasslands in response to Avian Mind Sensor flashing in. So if we go for it this way, that way we can kind of force them to look at the top 4 cards of the library, maybe kind of catch them off on some sort of land fetch. Let's go and get that crossed off. Yeah, normally I don't run a lot of taxing effects in here, but yeah, Avian Mind Sensor putting in some work. Alright, see if they're going to hit any land off that, and it's also going to cut them off the Grasslands activation too. Okay, they do whiff on the Search for Tomorrow. And I guess they put those cards on the bottom. Get down the Transguild Promenade. Okay. And sacrifice unless you return a land to the hand. So they're going to have to bounce that force back to the hand too. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Vona before, there's a lot of, pretty much kind of like at its core, it's going to be black-white control. Then outside of that, you can see where we've got a little bit of light taxing effects or sort of kind of Hate Bear style. Just kind of keeping our opponent off that. Alright, drawn to Arid Mesa, and then the Avian Mind Sensor counts to our opponent, so we can actually go and get the Arid Mesa down. Let's go for that. Let's go and push in for 2. Yeah, let's go and get the Sword of Feast and Famine down. I think that sounds good. Swinging in for 2 is going to put our opponent down to 28. Let's go for Sword of Feast and Famine. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're going to be able to crack the Arid Mesa, get the Scrubland down, then we'll be good to go. If we want to go for Vona next turn, we can. We're going to be sitting at 5 total mana. Kind of want to see what we get into. Opponent's going to get down Selvala, reveal the top card of their library, add a green mana. Yeah, go for it. And they do not have any artifacts on the battlefield for the disenchant, so we're just going to go and hold on to that right now. Let's go and crack the Arid Mesa. Let's grab that Scrubland. There we go. And then, drawn to Temple of Silence. Okay, so if we're going to go for the equip on Avian Mind Sensor, we're going to be able to connect. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go for the Temple of Silence. Get the Scry going, or Scurry, according to my Theros previous opponent. Sanguine Bond. Yeah, let's go and put it on the bottom for right now. Let's go for the Sword of Feast and Famine equip. That's going to be 1-2. Let's go for Swiftfoot Boots. Let's go and get that down. Let's go and push in for 4 in the air. It's going to put our opponent down to 24. But the main thing is we're going to get that untapped clause, which is going to be really good for us. Okay, and they're also going to have to discard a card on that. Push it in for 4. Discard a card. We're going to get the untap. Probably, we could go for Vona. That's definitely going to clear the way for us. It will kind of leave us open to any sort of removal by our opponent. But I think I like going for that. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go for Vona. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. We do have the Swiftfoot Boots just sitting there. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana for it. Oh, actually, tap that last one for black. There we go. Okay, get down Vona, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. So we're in a pretty good spot. But yeah, so outside of Vona, you know, having that core control concept with the deck, one thing that we are doing is running a lot of kind of life exchange cards. We have Axis of Mortality, and we also have Mirror Universe, which is a lot of fun. And you did see that we had Sanguine Bond. I think it's bond, that's what it is. But yeah, so different kind of sort of like life taxing effects like that that make for a really interesting game. And especially when you get down to Axis of Mortality, you're looking at Vona, go for that 7 life activation. You'll really get your life total down. So it's almost kind of like a suicide deck in a way. In fact, we do have Dark Confidant in here too, which is a lot of fun. Okay, opponent does get down Kasali Pride Mage. More than likely, we're going to see the crack on the Pride Mage on the Sword of Feast and Famine. I would assume that'd be the best way to kind of keep that off the battlefield. Let's go and get the Isolated Chapel down. Yeah, let's go and go Swiftfoot Boots on Vona. I'd like to get Vona protected. Okay, and let's go and go for, let's get down Kumbal. And then let's go and get down Mother of Runes. They don't really have any, we don't really need to leave up Disenchant, so I'm going to get this down. If we connect with Sword of Feast and Famine, we can untap and have that mana. But I think at this point, we're at least going to go ahead and force a crack by activating Vona on the Kasali Pride Mage. Let's go for it now. Let's go and push in with Vona. And then before we go to blockers, let's go and activate Destroy Kasali Pride Mage. There we go. I probably doubt that they would give us another untapped step. That would at least kind of force them not allowing us to get a block on Vona. Alright, destroy the Sword of Feast and Famine. Take care of a Kasali Pride Mage. And then we will gain that life off the Vona swinging in too. Alright, put them down to 18 and then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. Yeah, but yeah, you can see where, if we don't get the like Axis of Mortality kind of win, there's also some other stuff that you can do with, because whenever you exchange life totals, you're going to gain that life. So if you gain that life when you swap life totals, there's a couple different cards in here that allow us to like make sure they lose life. So you can definitely go for stuff like that. But you can definitely see where Avian Mind Sensor really putting some pressure on our opponent, and then getting down something like Kimball is really going to start eating away at their life total. All right, Pan Harmonicon. It's pretty good on that one. Let's go and cross that plains off, and we draw into another plains off that flip off Selvala too. So. But yeah, and if you don't really play, let's say that you have one particular playstyle in Commander like you play a lot. I don't really have a Hate Bear style deck, but it's definitely fun to kind of build it and kind of experience Magic from a different viewpoint, and this deck has definitely done that. So, it's always good to Magic to kind of go outside of your comfort zone, just to have a little bit of fun. That's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about my channel, is that I play so many different Commander decks that I get to, I get to experience combo decks, I get to experience just fun decks like Get Rock, Hypnotoad. It's technically Voltron, but I mean, it's more than that. It's just a lot of fun. So, yeah, definitely go out of your comfort zone in Commander. You'll have a good time with that. Okay, drawn to Ompulation. What are we going to go for? So we do have the Vona activation, and go for the Wood Readers if we want to. We have Elvish Visionary if we need to kind of get that out of the way. Let's go and get the Plains down. And if we want to, we can actually just go and shuffle something into our library just to kind of draw a couple cards. Yeah, let's go and push in first. I think I like that, because we don't really want to let our opponent draw some cards. Let's swing with Avian Mind Sensor. Let's go with swinging with Kumbal, swinging with Vona. And then we're going to go for that activation again. Yeah, I think I like that. Alright, we're going to push in. Before we go to blockers, we're going to activate Vona on the Wood Readers. The Readers of Wood. Those human druids. Silly druids. Alright, pushing in. That's going to be 6 coming across, 2 in the air. Alright, opponent goes down to 11. And I guess we'll just go and hold on to Oblation. Yeah, I think I like that. So what we can do with that is, if our opponent does get their commander down, we still have the Vona activation to go for, but in response to that, we can go for the Oblation on one of our lands to maybe kind of draw into something else and kind of free us up. And especially with Dragonlord Dromoka on the stack, we have to cast it before it gets on the battlefield, because we can't cast spells during our opponent's turn. So I'll definitely be guilty of doing a bunch of commentary sometimes and missing little interactions like that. Oh, but side note, not even Magic. So I picked up this really cool antique radio, and my wife and I, we went antiquing this past Saturday, and yeah, I found it. It was like $15, and it's from like 1968. It's like a Panasonic alarm clock. I think that's what it is. But it's got like the wood cabinet around it. It's got some like pretty cool little brass lining on the inside and 2 really big knobs. And man, it works perfect. So I was really happy to find that. Sometimes I find like old radio clocks from like the 60s and 70s, and I buy them. I haven't done it yet, but I want to kind of like gut them out and then put like a Google AirPlay or something in there, something that you can connect your phone to a speaker, and that way it's kind of like an old retro looking speaker, but you have the access of your phone being able to connect to it. So And I bought this radio with the intention of it, and then on the price tag it said, hey, it works perfectly, and so I plugged it in and it sounds good, and I was like, man, this is too bad to, like, I would feel bad gutting this radio that's almost 50 years old. So alright, opponent's going to go for Yavimaya Hollow on the Selvala, regenerate target creature. Okay, so we might be seeing something like, well, not Wrath of God because they can't be regenerated. We'll see what's going on this play. Okay, Hour of Reckoning, destroy all non-token creatures. They're going to lose 2, it's going to put them down to 11. But yeah, long story short, I'm going to put a picture of the radio down in the comments below. I sent a picture out of it on my Twitter feed. So in fact, actually, if you want to follow me, I'll have a link down in the comments so you can kind of see that. Alright, let's go and go for Oblation, I think. What are we going to shuffle back in? Yeah, I guess we could. We're going to have Swiftfoot Boots, so we get into spots where we might be able to swing in next turn. Let's go and go Oblation on the... That's going to be 4 coming across. Yeah, let's just go on the Avian Mind Sensor. Shuffle that back in. Draw the 2 cards. Maybe we can kind of draw into another Voltron piece to help us kind of push Vona. There'll be a... Ooh, draw the Ancient Tomb. I'll take that. Okay, let's going to get rid of all the creatures. And our opponent's going to be completely tapped out on this one, too. Let's get Vona popped back up. Okay, see what we draw into. Draw into Exquisite Blood. Let's go and get the Ancient Tomb down. Let's go for Vona. That's going to be 7 total. Looking at 1, 2, 3, and then black. Okay, let's get the Swiftfoot Boots equipped. That's going to be 1 total mana. And let's go and push in, and I like taking care of Selvala too. That way they don't really get any sort of advantage. Let's go for that. Swinging in. Let's go and activate Vona. Pay 7 life. Destroy Selvala. We're going to get in for 4. Put them down to 7. Puts us back to 20. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're in a pretty good spot. We're protected. They're going to have another sort of, mass board wipe to take care of Vona. And at least we can kind of go ahead and push in with that. And then kind of depending on what we draw into, we might be able to kind of get this weird Odric. If we can give Vona flying or something like that, we can go for that. But yeah, back to the radio. So it was really cool to find that. And it was only like $15. But I looked up the model, and it was from 1968. And so, I don't know. I just kind of have like this, like my little recording desk. It's an old mid-century sewing desk, actually. But it does have like a little mid-century legs look to it. But I've turned it into a recording desk, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, check it out. Ooh, opponent's going to go for Deranged Hermit. Okay, get the squirrels on the battlefield. We can go with that. Now, they did have Panharmonicon in the hand, so if they wanted to get in that spot to where they could really take advantage of that Deranged Hermit, it's a little hard at 7 to go for that, but the thought of going for Panharmonicon with Deranged Hermit, ooh, sounds like a lot of fun. Alright, let's go ahead, and then that's also going to put us at 4 squirrels, so we may lose Vona next turn. We'll see how we want to sequence this. Okay. Draw to Tainted Remedy. So if we go for Exquisite Bond, whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. An opponent would gain life. That player loses that much life instead. I don't think... No, excuse me, that's an opponent. Let's go and get Urborg down. And then Odric doesn't have anything. Yeah, let's go and go for... Let's go for Exquisite Blood. That's going to be 1, 2. And then we can still go ahead and get down Tainted Remedy. Yeah, we've got some life to pay. I think I'm okay, though. Let's go for Tainted Remedy. We'll take care of the Deranged Hermit. Then if they want to trade with all 4 squirrel tokens, I'll be okay with that. They don't really have much going on other than getting down Dragonlord Dromoka. And we still have a few more activations to go with Vona. Okay, opponent does scoop it up. Definitely take that one, Conquistador. But yeah, a lot of fun playing Vona. And then, in fact, if you want to check out my radio, be sure and check out the description of the comments below. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.